Well, welcome back to Fireside Bourbon. And here we are looking at the pot still over at Bear Wallow, Nashville, Indiana. Got to try a whole bunch of expressions here. Hanging out with the Fat Man in Big Daddy's Bourbon Room. And there's Tyler right there, the master distiller here at Bear Wallow. So as you just saw, we had a great day. Went down, met the Fat Man, of course, and Big Daddy's Bourbon Room from TikTok. And we still got to have some tastings and check out the operations. Do a little bit of talking with the master distiller there, Tyler. And then went over, got some lunch, and then went to Hard Truth and finished up our day there. And just had a great time with those guys. I picked up this bottle over at Bear Wallow. Of course, I like their expressions they're putting out. This is a 4-grain Mashbill. It's kind of interesting, though. It's different. It's being aged in used bourbon barrel, which is first time used with their gnawbone Indiana straight bourbon. And they take it after dumping it. They put this juice in it, and then they age it from there. Now it takes longer because it's been used, but it comes out kind of like a Scotch or an Irish whiskey. They say it's a medium-bodied, very smooth and flavorful. They said the characteristics are very much like a Highland Scotch, losing a lot of the smoke from the char and stuff from it already being saturated from the bourbon. So we're anxious to get into this. So this is a Fresh Crack Friday. So we're going to crack this thing up here. If I can get a hold of it right. Oh, and the guys got to dip their own bottles on their single barrel rye they bought. And that was kind of cool. Let's see what we get here. If I can get this thing to twist a little here. Okay, so now I've got the thing loose. Let's give it. Wow, that's a hell of a pop. That was still tight. Nice pop. Pour that up. I'm anxious to get into this with what they're saying about it, because I do like Scotch and I do enjoy Irish whiskey. So with liking all of that, I'm expecting to really like this. Now this mash bill on this is a 40% corn, 40% wheat, a 10% rye, and a 10% malted barley. So it's not a single malt at all. Definitely has some reminiscence of that in the nosing there. But it is definitely expected to be very sweet, very fruity. Nice little cinnamon amount of heat coming through with the rye there on the back end, which is what I expect to get from that. But see what this viscosity is looking like. Well, that's building up nice. Oh, yeah. Very oily. Real slow runners. Real nice legs on that. Let's get this on the nose here. This bottle's coming in around $50, by the way. That is a great nose. It's actually does remind me of a malty. Has a lot of malt coming off of it. Highland Scotch. Definitely does. I'm not getting the aromatic fruit notes I get with Irish whiskey on the nose. I'm getting a sweet nose. I'm getting some almond. Real nice almond nose there. Let's get this on the palate. Cheers. Coming in at 100 proof. No age statement. on it, so I'm not sure exactly how long it's been in the barrel for. Very sweet. Very sweet. Definitely has some reminiscent notes, like I said, on the nose, but also on the palate of a Scotch. But definitely get the bourbon coming out from where it's in that bourbon barrel. That is very strong, and it dilutes the. If you're afraid of it because of that Scotch comment there, or the Irish whiskey, it dilutes the that effect. You still get the strong malt coming off of it. You get some dark fruit coming off of there. A lot of bready notes. Some gentle oak. A little floral essence in there. And the rye is perfect. Nice, soft, spicy finish on that. Very nice. Nothing, nothing too tannic. Off notes aren't strong. It's a very easy, as they said, a very smooth drinking whiskey. I think you definitely would enjoy it. Let's give it a number. By the way, it's a very dark hay, straw look, maybe a real light gold. Um, so definitely darker than the normal Scotch. Um, yeah, let's go with 3.9 out of 5 on that. 3.9 out of 5 is going to be our review. Had a great time today. Hate for the day to end, but it's coming to that point. Gonna have to start again tomorrow. See what we can get into with that day. But for now, folks, I'm only here for a good 4-grain whiskey.